Alright, so I'm going to do something a little different for these matches that I recorded at the WPT. I'm going to commentate back. I haven't actually seen this match yet. I watched a little bit in person, but going to just review it for the first time and give some commentary. But we have a 4-5 mixed bracket match.
I don't have a server band, but we know who it is.
We've got Taylor Hines and Mark Snyder, one of the Pickle Bros, in white on the close court, and Ruby Lee and Jake Dinkle on the far court. I'm not sure who won the coin toss here, but Taylor and Mark are going to be serving first.
All right, 0-0-2.
Taylor served to Ruby. Good drop, quick point over. Just I do believe this was the first match of the day for both of these two teams. It's always for me at least takes a couple points to get kind of in the swing of things. Ooh, pop up right to Mark's forehand. He's a very tall guy, so that's a tough one. Resulted about the way you'd expect. So Jake serving here, 0-0-2. Nice wide dink, and a put away from Taylor. And side out. Let's go back over here to Taylor and Mark. 0 still. Ooh, I missed her turn. Ruby's looking at her paddle like, what happened? Must have mishit it. Pretty aggressive point. Good resets from Jake. Oh, and a missed dink. That's too bad, but starting to get into the points a little bit more.
2-0-1.
So we got 2-0-1. Nice drive from Mark. Jake got it back and kept it pretty low. Oh, she hit it out. So Ruby and Taylor are good friends and play tournaments together too. So it's always fun when you get to go up against your women's partner in a mixed game. You know the other person, but there's also some feelings there. Sometimes I think I struggle more when I'm playing my friends. Here we go. Here's a good point. And actually, we did on our podcast, episode 4, we broke down this point and Tanner gave his critique and some thoughts about what could have been done better. And so check that out if you're interested. Just ends with a nice little kind of flick up from Taylor and put away finish. So it's 2-0-2. Mark serving to Jake. Kind of a high. Point went awry for them. Now we got a side out, so it'll be 0-2-1 from Ruby. Backhand return just went a little wide, it looked like. So 1-2-1. Good blocks from Ruby. Oh, but a mistake. Ruby seems to be really handling those resets great, whether it's a volley or off the bounce. Oh, great backhand finish from Jake right down the middle. So it's got to be 2-2-2. Oh, he hit a nice diving third, but Taylor blocked it back and just couldn't. Jake could not finish that point. So side out, twos all around for 2-2-1. Ooh, great point, Taylor. Great aggression from Taylor. She just got a ball that she could get down on and kept it going.
Alright, 3, 2, 1.
Nice drops. Oh, must have had a funny bounce. There were some dead spots on a few of these courts. So here they're discussing on whether or not they wanted to play the point over, or like what the... I saw that a lot in this tournament where sometimes they'd replay the point, and some teams would opt not to, but in general, everybody in this bracket really wanted to get the point because they earned it, not because of a dead spot on the court. So here's a nice little backhand dink rally. Jake got aggressive with a ball, and Mark just had the upper hand on that shot. Jake attacked kind of to his forehand, and just general placement was not quite there. Mark and Taylor seem to be doing a good job getting to the net on their serve. Oh, that was a great dink. Pulled Taylor out wide and then gave Jake the finish there. Mark did the right thing coming over to cover. You know, Taylor got pulled off the court, but sometimes they just hit that good shot behind you, and that's about all you can do. Ooh, nice wide dink from Taylor. I'm a little switch up on the direction, just kind of caught Ruby off balance a little bit. Oh, she's been doing great with those volley resets. I thought she had it.
4-2-1.
It's 4-2-1. Yeah, all the players are really getting to the net in this game, not really backing off or giving up space. So it's been a lot of dink points and a couple just kind of speed ups and finishes. Nothing too crazy with any hands battles, but we've seen a lot of good resets. Oh, great two-handed drive from Taylor. Ooh. Man, she caught that one just right to get it back over the net, but when you get thrown off like that, I mean, there's only so much you can do. Jake took advantage of the pop-up, and that was it there. So in the points breakdown that we did, keep an eye out for that on our next podcast on Tuesday. But Tanner commented on how much the boys are cross-court backhand dinks, and that you don't see it quite so often in mixed. You know, you usually see the girls kind of exchanging the forehand dinks. But as I'm watching this, I'm noticing Jake and Mark are really doing a lot of dinking. Couple just quick points here. Ooh, nice return. Gave Jake a tough ball to drop there. 5-3-1. So scores 5-3-1. Good shots from Ruby there. She's keeping them low, unattackable. Ooh, good point. Ruby and Jake kind of mixed it up a little bit. Ruby was on the left that time, and I know her to be very competent and comfortable on that side of the court. Maybe that's part of why they chose to stay. Oh, great block there, Jake. There are a number of reasons why they might have chosen to stay there with Ruby on the left. The return of serve is one of the big ones. Sometimes if I'm with my mixed partner and we're stacking and I'm struggling with a certain serve and being able to get to my place in time, we will just opt to stay. And another can be just if you're not getting results on your corresponding sides, maybe you mix it up, give them a different look. Or if the girl feels strong when they're receiving the ball, maybe less so getting up to the net. So they're taking a time out here, and it does look like they're kind of strategizing a little bit here on Ruby and Jake's side. So we'll see what they come up with and what adjustments they may make. Now we got 4-5-1. Back after the timeout. Let's see if anything changes here. Oh, that was just unfortunate. A little bit of a net skip. Mark tried to get on top of that ball, but sometimes you end up hitting those good. Sometimes you just don't have the time to adjust the way you might want to. Oh, great backhand. Way to get down on it. Right at Jake's feet. Both of these ladies are very effective with an aggressive game. They are not shy at all of the guys on the other side and not shy to pull the trigger. Oh, that was a little closer than I thought it was going to be. Nice try. So we're tied at 5. There's going to be a side switch at 6. This bracket was fairly large, so they opted for just the game to 11. One game to 11, and they play everybody once. So it looks like since Mark and Taylor to 6 points, they earn that side switch. When you win the coin toss or you're choosing a side, I know for me a lot of things come into play. There was some wind here yesterday when this was recorded, and the sun's kind of above now Ruby and Jake, so the far side of the court is a little worse for the sun, but everybody kind of chooses differently. I wonder if either of these teams made a specific choice one way or another for any reason. Ooh, Mark got on top of that ball really nicely. But yeah, I'm always watching after that side switch. It's like, are you going to get the next point or is it going to throw you off? Because changing it up. Hey, Jake, we see you. Just as a side note, I was out there today watching the men's doubles. Got a couple matches with Jake in it, so you'll see those popping up too. But he just played awesome, and he and his partner Max got second place today, so congratulations to them. Oh, great point. I couldn't see if that landed in. Great dinks, though, from Ruby. Set that point up. 5-8-1. 5-8-1. There's those backhandings from the guys again. Nice, powerful serve, Ruby. Really deep, too. Man, she hits those volley resets really good. Yeah, they're definitely opting for Ruby on the left here. They've been stacking on the serve every time. They're never playing straight up when they're the serving team, but ultimately Ruby is great on the left, and I'm sure they included that in their decision to not stack here. Ooh, it's a good spot. I think Taylor probably could have dug that ball out. She looks a little disappointed. She probably thinks the same. It's great. Ruby's got her paddle up. She's ready for that ball that, waiting for Mark to pull the trigger at her. Good blocks.
Let's go.
It's a good patient point. No one really went too overboard with trigger pulls there, which I think Ruby probably could have countered a couple of those balls a little bit more, but sometimes it's just better to like play the sure thing shot, and a nice block to the kitchen is always a great choice. You can't go wrong.
7-8-1.
We got a bunch of Perseus paddles here on the court. Can't tell what Mark's playing with. He's got his Day Dinkers swag on. Looking good out there, him and his brother. I think it's 7-8-2. Man, so Ruby rushed the net there, and Jake drove, and she is, I can just speak from experience, Ruby definitely makes you feel pressure when she approaches the net like that, and it's just a highly effective play, but good job to her to be ready for that. Oh. Taylor has a great serve. Lots of power, good spin. Kind of always bounces a little different. Oh, great read, Taylor. Jake just kind of popped that dink up a little bit and she jumped on it. Oh, great backhand. Mark probably could have been a little bit more aggressive, I think, going into some of those balls, but you know, as he's approaching the net, it's, like I said before, just sometimes safer to get it to bounce on the kitchen. You know, just take that safer shot right at your opponent's feet and make your way up there. And he's as a real tall guy with a good reach, he's a force to be reckoned with at the kitchen line. Nice. Taylor knew she popped that ball up. Nice. Taylor knew she popped that ball up. Was expecting, I think, Jake to attack. She was ready for it. And Jake had some great attacks there, but Taylor just got him back, so good for her.
No, good call. 8-9.
8-9. Nice drop. Ooh, right at his foot. It's a great spot. It's backhand right by the foot. It's a tough drop.
9-9, 2.
Ooh, a nice little kind of flick up the middle.
Right here, great shot. Great shot. I got it.
Oh, that was a great point played by Mark and Taylor, though. Mark got aggressive with his movements towards the kitchen. Taylor had a lefty dig, but it just wasn't quite enough. Ruby and Jake still had control in the second half of that point. Great finish on that last point from Jake. He's got the ball here.
9-9,
9-9-1. Just missed that a little. Kind of seemed like he swung a little early. Like he wasn't just in the best posture for that ball. Just a little early. Nice drop to Mark's backhand again. It's always a good spot. Nice. That was a pretty backhand, Jake. I watched him hit quite a few of those today, too. That's a nice shot he's got in his arsenal. On the man, you know, Jake was doing a good job keeping them back on those first couple strokes, but then he went a little more shallow and they were able to come to the net, and then he just got burned on that speed up for Taylor. But you know, sometimes pulling them in is a good play because you get your opponent off momentum and they may pop the ball up, you get a put away. But other times it's, you know, works kind of against you, where you're inviting them into the kitchen. You just never really know, but in that case it didn't go so well for Jake there. We got another timeout. This has been a super close match. 10-10-1. Oh, that was looking like such a good point. Every shot was just low to the net, really pristine, and then I don't know what it hit, but that ball died. Good take. Way to reach in there and kick that ball up, kind of just dab it at Ruby a little bit, and he earned the pop up and got the put away. Great point construction there. Ruby's moving the ball around a lot here. Oh, and it paid off. Sometimes just moving your dinks around, going to different sides, different angles, it just earns you a pop-up. It can be risky. Sometimes it's hard to control a dink, you know, go in different directions. feeling Jake knows it. There, he popped that one up right to Taylor's two-handed backhand. Nice. Oh, man, Jake kept that ball so low too. That was a great just like reset in the kitchen. And you know, I don't blame them for dodging that ball, but it did land well inside the court. Oh, that's too bad. Eleven, 10, 1. Oh, good get. Good work, Jake, keeping him back. Oh, little net. That was a good point. There was a lot there. Jake did a great job of dealing with those overheads, but Taylor and Mark got a lot of tough balls back there, so good job to get back in the point. Just a little dink error cost it, but they did a lot of great work in that point. Wow, there's that backhand again. He hits the backhand, knows where it's coming, forehand put away. That's great. There's some tendencies when you strike the ball or speed the ball up at your opponent in a certain way. You know, there's some tendencies of where that ball is coming back, and it looked like Jake kind of knows that pattern and just was sitting on it. Was able to finish. Oh, good call, Ruby. Ruby's really good at communicating with her partner to let them know the ball is going out. So great watch call on that. Good lead from Jake. Nice slice dink. When he hit that, I knew it was going to be trouble. That was a tough one. But we got another timeout. I think it's 11-11 here. Yeah, this was a real nail biter, and they had a little bit of a crowd watching and cheering section here, but this was a good match. You can see in the background Mark's brother, James, being victorious. Actually, fun fact, that point you just saw in the background is another one that we did our point breakdown on the podcast, so keep an eye out for that one. Alright, let's see if one of these teams can nice dinks. Oh, it's too bad. But see, Taylor changed the direction of that dink rally and just caught Jake off guard a little bit. Alright, so Jake wants to switch here. He was able to get it back, but yeah, unfortunately that point ends in a body bag to Jake. But yeah, Taylor and Mark win and come out victorious, and I'm sure you'll catch a couple more of their matches in the future.